Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to the segment of Khoj Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day, the recitation. Gaudi Mahalla Nama, Sadho Gobind ke gun gavo, Manas janam amolak payo, Birtha kahe gavavo, Rahao. पतित पुनीत दीन बंद हर शरण ताहे तुम आवो गज को त्रास मिट्यो जह सिमरत तुम काहे बिसरायो तज अब मान फोह माया फुन भजन राम चित लावो नानक कहत मुक्त पंथ एह गुरमुख होए तुम पावो तज अब मान मोह माया फुन भजन राम चित लावो नानक कहत मुक्त पंथ एहो गुरमुख होए तुम पावो मुक्त पंथ एहो नानक कहत मुक्त पंथ एहो This is the way to freedom. Gurmukh hoye tum pavo. Be Guru guided, guided by Guru wisdom, and you will attain freedom. That is the conclusion of this very short passage. So let's see how this point is elaborated by Guru Tegh Bahadur. He addresses seekers again. Sadho, he says, Gobind ke gun gavo. So he's invoking the seekers of perfection. Sadho, which is a plural of sadhak, literally one who seeks perfection, which is originally a term used for practitioners of tantra or performers of religious rites. Now, of course, it is a generic term for any spiritual aspirant. So sadho, he's saying that if you are aspiring, then Gobind ke gun gavo. Then sing praise to Gobind. Gobind, protector of the earth, which is an attribute of the Creator. Gobind ke gun gavo. Sing adoration to that Master of the universe. If you are an aspirant, then that is what you have to do. Manas janam amolak payo, birtha kahe gavavo. So human life is a precious gift. Why would you squander it away? So you see, not only is he addressing aspirants, he's also telling us that we have a duty. We are duty bound to make the best of our lives and not to squander what he describes as a precious gift. Amolak, manas janam, amolak payo. Why squander it away? So perfection remains an aspirational ideal. In other words, it tells you that being a Sikh is a developmental process. You're a lifelong learner. There is no end, really. And to sing praise, gavo, adoration, should be understood literally as in kirtan, which is a foundational Sikh practice, as well as cultivation of virtue. Gun is a term that is multifaceted and used variously. It has many connotations. Among them, it means an attribute or property of a substance, for instance, the whiteness in a garment, but it is different from the substance. So likewise, the qualities of the Creator that are accessible to us, because ultimately the transcendent Creator is inaccessible to our senses. So therefore, we have to relate to what is accessible to our minds and senses. So, what is accessible to us are certain qualities, attributes of this Creator. That is what we have to cultivate. And of course, remember that guns are also used to describe the three fundamental operating principles or tendencies of universal nature, Prakriti. We all know about Sato, Rajo, and Tamas, inertia, movement, and balance. But in Sikhi, when it says Gun Gavo, it means the physical act of singing kirtan in a congregation, as well as the inner meaning of cultivating virtue in life. Patit puneet deen bandhar. Why do you neglect your inner self? Tum kahe bisrayo? Why? Why would you neglect your inner har self? Because Gobind is the har self. So when the Guru says, sing to Gobind, it's a roundabout way of saying, don't neglect your inner self, which is the har, which is Gobind. So here's the question. Why would you neglect your inner self when the har self is a transformative agent? What does it do? Patit puneet deen bandh har. It transforms the selfish ego mind. Patit. Patit literally means a sinner or fallen, but I have chosen not to use that literal meaning because the notion of a sinner is somewhat foreign to Sikhi. Sinning and sinner in Sikhi really pertains to one who is caught in the selfishness of the ego mind, one who is in error, one who is making a mistake. That really is a sinner in Sikhi. So there is no guilt trip in Sikhi. You are just simply either on the right path or on the wrong path. And eventually you have to get onto the right path, which means it's up to you as to how long you want to prolong going on the wrong path. So that's the way it should be understood. So the har self, the Guru is telling us, is patit puneet. So transformation of the ego mind into a selfless and clear vision guide. Puneet. Puneet again literally means pure, purifying, clear. But I think that the application to the mind in this sense is a lot more appropriate because the ego mind lacks clarity. That is why it is filled with doubt and delusion. So that's why we have to come seek the shelter of the har self. And so it is the har self that will guide us with good wisdom. And the har self slakes the thirst of the mind that is powerful like Gaj, the elephant. Gaj ko tras mityo jeh, simrat tum kahe bisrayo. So now here the Guru has used a reference to a Puranic legend about Gajendra, Gaj, the elephant, who was saved from the clutches of a crocodile by the god Vishnu. That's the legend. The symbolism that the Guru is using to explain to us, the symbolism is that the crocodile, called a Makara, symbolizes the temptations of Maya, and Gaj, the elephant, stands for the mind. The point being made is that the mind, which is powerful like an elephant, falls prey to the seductive power of Maya and then gets stuck in the muddy waters of moh or delusion. And Maya, the crocodile, grabs it. And the mind wishes to experience pleasure repeatedly, creates a vicious cycle for itself, from which it is impossible for the ego mind to break out. it requires gur wisdom to break the delusion, and the delusion is that the fleeting world is permanent, or that we can enjoy pleasure without pain. Gur wisdom helps you understand that pleasure and pain, the opposites, work together. So if you seek pleasure, understand that the seeds of pain are in that pleasure. So when pleasure exhausts itself, it is followed by its opposite. And that is what causes us to go around in circles, because we are always seeking one end of the string. And in conclusion, Nanak kahat mukta pantha e. Now he's telling us this is the way to freedom. And what is it? Taj abaman moh maya fun bhajan ramachit lao. With the Guru Enlightener's guidance, Gurumukha hoetum, and repeated practice, fun, when the delusions of the ego mind are broken, taj abaman moha maya, then the mind is elevated to Ram consciousness, Ram Chitalavo. Says Nanak, this is the path to freedom. Nanak kahat, mukat pantha ehe. Ramachitalavo, the fragmentation of the mind is healed, integrated. On that note, until the next time, Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.